Did you record?
No, not yet.
Howdy.
What up? What up?
What up? What up? That is Nicholas with the Superman shirt. I am Sahid, the nappy hair and everything. I you know what? I don't care.
Hey, it's been what, like 3 episodes where I've had on hats. So I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I totally intended to get a haircut before Memorial Day, but I've been
Right.
so busy the last couple weeks, just like studying for my AWS cert. At work, we're doing mid-year reviews, so I have to like do reviews for my direct reports and myself, which is just a pain. And I'll probably be doing that tonight when we're done here. So,
Hey,
no rest
it's
for the
rough.
wicked. No rest for the wicked.
Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
we talk about being. I'm trying to see if we're live now. We better be. I'll be pissed on Instagram. It's not showing us live, even though I did everything correctly. What the hell? Everything seems correctly and everything. What the hell?
Good old restream. Or good old
Boy.
Instagram, shall I say.
Yeah. It worked last time. It's not working this time for some reason. Oh well. You know what? Whatever. What are you gonna do? Okay, cool. So, good job finally on promoting us correctly and actually using the URL. Second time. Good job.
Figured it out. I figured it out.
You do learn technology. So we
Of
are
course.
live on my Instagram. I'm trying to be live on the other Instagram, our target Instagram account. Oh, we're live. Good. We're live. Good. We're there. It works. All right. Good.
All right.
Welcome to our Instagram audience. Welcome to Targeted Podcast. I'm Sahid. That is Nicholas. Got a show for you today. We're going to be talking a couple things. We're going to be talking NBA Finals or the NBA playoffs.
Definitely looking forward
Gotta
to
talk
this
about
series.
that. Yeah, gotta talk about that. We're going to be talking about so the NBA Finals. We're going to be talking about the Little Mermaid a little bit there. I'm going to be talking about something super important and near and dear to our hearts: the PlayStation State of Play.
Hey. You're a gamer.
It is.
Yeah.
We're gamers. Yeah, we got to like take advantage of our Twitch streams sooner or later. But anyway, let's start with the finals. What'd you think, man? Did you think Boston had a chance?
I mean, they always had a chance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But once Tatum went down on his ankle,
Yeah.
I almost turned the channel, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna keep watching just to see what happens. But I felt like it was over at that point. And that's not to downplay what the Heat did, because to go out there and win in Boston in a game 7, I mean, it's tough. You know what I mean? But Jaylen Brown wasn't helping his case though. The guy had mad turnovers.
Oh yes, absolutely. He needs to. You gotta do better. You gotta do better. And I think next year he's up for like a max contract too. So, it's been tough for the Celtics this year because they lost their coach. There are a couple other coaching places that didn't get filled up really quickly.
Mhm.
So it's tough. It's definitely very tough. So hopefully they'll be able to get back together. And I don't think they need to blow up the team.
I don't think so. I think part of the issue is that they had because it was Udoka's first year coaching last year as a head coach, right?
Yep.
And this year they had another first year head coach.
Yep.
So I think just like
No, 34. One of the youngest coaches in. He's the youngest coach in the NBA.
yeah. So it's like you have like 2 coaching changes back to back like that. I mean, the fact that they even got to the Eastern Conference Finals says something about them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Joe Mazzulla, 34 years old. I think Al Horford is older than him.
So was Udonis Haslem. Actually, I think Udonis Haslem was almost Eric Spoelstra's age at this point.
Udonis Haslem is like what, 44? Like this guy, he's just there sitting down collecting checks, rooting people on.
But that's what
Um,
we've been saying, though, man. I really think that with the John Moran situation, I
oh
think
yeah,
if more teams had like just a vet there to be like the mentor, kind of be, I don't know. I mean, for lack of a better word, like the chaperone for these guys, I think that they would find themselves in a lot less trouble, man.
yeah. I don't know if someone like a Durant would be able to handle like the type of like tough love that Giannis Haslam would like handle, like will give him. Like the thing about Kevin Durant is like the guy's a phenomenal player, but he's amazingly thin skinned,
Oh yeah,
which blows my mind. Like when you're that good, like why do you worry about what peons are saying shit about you when you're that good, right?
I don't think that has anything to do with how good he is. I mean, either you're sensitive or you're not. I mean, it's
Fair, but at
some
the
people
same
just
time,
can't deal with that, man.
yeah, but I feel like there's a part where you can say, oh, well, like okay, there's a maturity aspect where you don't let like a little kid like bother you because they're little kids, right? Like this is a guy who makes millions of dollars, right? MVP, two Finals MVPs, and you're still having burner accounts, like come on, like come on. So, but I think you're right. Though I think Udonis Haslam really helps with that heat culture that I've been hearing so much about,
Hmm.
um, and I think it worked well. Like I definitely did not see them making it to like the finals. I think they lost their first game in the
In the
play-in tournament.
playoffs, did they?
In the play-in, right? I think they lost to Atlanta because if you win your first game, you're a 7th seed. They're the 8th seed, so you have to have lost the first game, or at least I don't know how that worked. But yeah, they almost didn't even make the play-in.
Hey,
Not only did they make the play-in, and
now they're
the
playing for the
number one seed,
champs.
no, yeah, now they're playing with the championship for the championship. So yeah, any predictions for? Well, actually, before we get into predictions, let's talk a little bit more about that team. So we know we don't think it should blow it up. I don't think it should blow it up either. Jalen Brown played pretty well, but he he didn't play well that series, but he played pretty well this season. I was watching some of the sports commentators and they're talking about how he what was it? Um, didn't What was it? He didn't want to play there, right? Like he's thinking about his max contract, maybe not being a number two to what's his face to Jason Tatum, which is unfortunate.
He should be so lucky, man. He look what he showed. Like somebody was saying, he just needs to go work on his handles. I mean, that's you're not the number one guy. I'm sorry. Like either you are or you're not. You know what I mean? I think he should be happy that he's in the situation that he's in. Go work on your handles. Come back, be better next year. A lot of guys are saying that, and I was also hearing like they should trade him and all this other stuff, but I don't really agree with that either. Like he's been doing good like all season. He was a great player last year too. He just had like one bad series, right? So I don't agree with them with certain talking heads talking about like they should trade that guy. I disagree with that. Now Al Horford, he's a little old. Maybe some of these other old guys you can get rid of. You know what I mean? Try to get some younger talent, but I think you're on mute, man.
Oh shit, he's 26. My bad. Thanks. No, he's 26. I was looking at our Instagram and I was seeing who's following us since I can't see who's following us on Restream, and I want to say hi to some people. Thanks for following. Really appreciate it. Um, Shout out. Thank you guys for supporting. This is not your typical podcast with a bunch of dudes talking alpha male energy and being degrading to other people. We just talk about shit that we like.
What kind of energy were you talking about?
Huh?
What kind of energy did you say? Alpha male energy or something?
Alpha male energy, big alpha dog. I was watching like
Were you watching Andrew
Instagram.
Tate?
No, I was watching what was I watching? I was watching just some Instagram about like typical like male podcast, and it's like, yo, I'm a man and this and this. I'm like, yeah, we get it. Like you have to say you're a man like a billion times.
You sound
Something's off.
questionable.
Yeah, something a little off there. But yeah, it's all good. But yeah, cool. We'll have to see what happens with Boston. I'm kind of rooting for them. I thought they were gonna make it finally this year. Actually, we had a bet last year. I thought they were gonna win
Yeah,
last
I mean, I thought they
year.
would like because I like any team with a black coach. Like, I want to see them win.
Yep.
But Spoelstra, he's a good coach, man. That
He's a
guy, I
great.
think they said he's been, what was it, 8 finals now in the last
Yeah,
like I don't know, decade plus or something. I was like,
yeah.
dang, I
Something
didn't even
else.
realize it. Just
I
sneaky.
saw. I saw another stat that was crazy too. Pat Riley is going to be involved in 25% of all the NBA finals.
That's
Keep in mind, that is
crazy.
nuts, right? He's been with Miami. He's been with the Lakers. He's been with the Knicks, right?
That's
Uh,
wild, man.
yeah, as a coach and as now GM. Like that's just crazy. Just talking about greatness from that aspect as well. All right, so we talked a little bit about that. Who you got? Who you rooting for? Who you got?
I'm rooting for the Heat. If I'm being realistic, Denver's probably gonna mop the floor with them guys. That's just the truth. Look, I mean, we didn't
Yeah,
even we did all this talking about Miami, right? We didn't even talk about Denver.
that's the
That
problem.
kind of just
That's a
shows
big,
you
yeah.
they're under the radar, which is
Yes,
typical of like a small market team anyway, right? You don't really pay
Midwest
attention,
too.
right?
M-
Huh?
Midwest team too, right? Like
Yeah,
nobody. That's usually the forgotten time zone, right?
yeah.
You have the Eastern time zone where we're on. You have the Central time zone, and then there's that time zone and the Western time zone.
No, you're
In
right.
the continental US. So that's usually forgotten. So yeah, they've been under the radar a lot. What I like about these two teams is that these are two teams that they didn't get the memo, right? Like Miami
Yeah,
didn't get the memo that they're the AC, not supposed to be here. They're supposed to be just happy to make the playoffs, not make the finals, right? And Denver didn't get the memo in the sense that if you're up 2-0, you're supposed to take a game off. If you're up 3-0, you're supposed to take a game off. Like not
no,
these guys.
no, not at
They're
all.
like they go up against the Lakers. You're up 3-0 in LA against like LeBron James. It's like, no, we're fucking sweeping these guys. And the Lakers came out to play too, and they're like, no, we're sweeping. We're
Oh,
in
they
this.
tried. Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's another thing I like. Both these teams, no super teams here, right?
yeah,
No, let me call. They did the anti-LeBron approach. It's pretty much the LeBron approach, right? No phone calls, no recruiting. They just like play with who they got and they won.
yeah,
So it kind of shows that style still works.
yeah. I think Denver's gonna take it, but then again, I thought Boston was gonna take it. So
Exactly. I think I'm still, I might hop on like the MGM app or something, put some money down on the Heat. I think I might have to do that.
you probably make it out huge if they end up winning, right?
I
You're
mean,
probably made out huge if you predicted like Miami won will win in seven, right? Because it was
yeah,
like 97-3, like was the RPI rating ESPN giving Boston Celtics a chance, and they still gave them a chance when they up like a high probability of winning when they went up 3-0, which is
yep.
nuts to me. Um, but yeah, what are you gonna do? Okay, cool. Yeah, I think Denver's gonna take it. It's sad that we don't talk enough about Denver.
We
Like
still didn't.
yeah, we still didn't.
A
We
shout
still
out to
didn't.
Jamal Murray. That
Jamal
guy's been doing a
Murray,
great job.
yeah,
Jokic doing a good job.
yeah. Michael Porter,
And those are the only two guys that I know on the team.
Michael Porter, Michael Porter is on the team. Cavivius, KCP, Cavivius Caldwell Pope, who used to be a Laker. also on that team.
Caldwell
So
Pope, wasn't he a Warrior too? Or am I tripping? Warriors had a guy named Caldwell something Caldwell Pope.
I know he was a Lakers. Great thing about the internet is that I can just look this shit up right here. So nope, he was never. He was never a Clipper. So started off with Detroit. Then he went to the Lakers. Uh, I think he won a chip with the Lakers. Yep, won a chip with the Lakers in 2019, 2020. Um, then got shipped off to Washington, and now he's with Denver. So yeah, there you
Hey.
go. Got to do it. Cool. All right. Nice. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Yeah, I think Denver has it. There's just a mentality about they're talented and they're not like the Celtics. They're not going to play with their food. Like,
No.
um,
No, they're
like
not.
the head coach already has them in like the right mindset of like this is going to be the toughest team that we've played by far. Um, which I think is the right mindset to take, right? And they've played some tough teams, right? I think they beat Phoenix, right? They beat
Yeah.
Phoenix,
Which
and that's a
was
tough team.
surprising.
Yeah, that's a very tough team. With um, Durant, and of course, Chris Paul was hurt because around this time
He's
he would get
cursed.
hurt,
He's
unfortunately.
cursed.
But yeah, what's up? That's what's up. Super happy for finals. So finals tomorrow. Can't wait for that to happen. Can't wait for it to get that going. Looking forward to it, man. Totally looking forward to it.
Yes, sir.
Um, yeah, I'm trying to get into our account. I'll do this later. Fuck it. My Instagram logged out on my phone, and I don't feel like I'm getting in. So
Oh man.
I'm
You
trying
sitting
to
there
check.
messing with that stuff. We gotta move to the next thing. We gotta talk about this Little Mermaid. It's
Okay, so let's talk about the Little Mermaid.
I think it made, if I'm not mistaken, I saw somewhere that it made like 117 million
Yeah,
over opening
didn't do well
weekend.
in China, but usually things with like black leads don't do well in China.
Yeah.
Uh, Case in point, Black Panther, right?
Hmm.
Does well here, but doesn't do super well in China because they're just not used to seeing those sorts of people as leads, unfortunately, which is unfortunate. But hopefully, we just keep scratching the surface. They get used to it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
um, have you seen it?
No.
Neither have I. I have not seen any of the live action Disney films, and I kind of refuse to see them simply because, like, you're messing with my childhood. You really are messing with my childhood. Like, I I was annoyed with the Lion King. I didn't watch it, but I saw like the live action like commercials for it, and I was like, this kind of takes away from the mystique of Lion King, right? Um, Like it's meant to be a cartoon for kids, right? Or what's another one? Oh God, Aladdin. Let me tell you, the Will Smith genie. Hard pass. Hard pass. Hard pass. Hard
So
pass. Let, let
I
me let me
okay.
before we go on. Let me do one more thing too. My my niece visited me before the pandemic. Right, my family was at my apartment, and they were watching TV, and my niece was like, I want to watch Aladdin. Put on Aladdin," and I put on like the 1992 cartoon version of Aladdin, and she goes, "That's not Aladdin," and I'm like, "Mouth, that is Aladdin. It's my Aladdin. That's Aladdin. Robin Williams is genie." Okay. I don't care if Genie's whitewashed. I don't care. That time. That isn't.
They
Yeah.
don't know. They don't know.
Yeah. It's
But
my Aladdin.
okay.
Yeah, but go ahead.
I saw the live action Lion King and the live action Aladdin
Mhm.
because of the girls. And
How'd that
yeah,
go?
I pretty much agree with you, right? The Lion King I thought was at least like passable,
Yeah.
but Aladdin, no, no, this was not. That was not it. Yeah, I mean, they need to stop. I hope they don't do any more. Like
Oh, they're doing
the
more.
cartoons are way
What?
better. Like I think they also did Beauty and the Beast live action remake, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't see it, refused to watch it, right? But people are so
Yeah.
hype about this movie. Like my wife is like, well, I suggested it to her really because it's a chance for me to be at home by myself, right? Right. I wasn't gonna go see that movie,
Secrets come out. Married life secrets come out right now.
but
Go out, hang with your friends.
hey, but you know what's interesting is that um, one of our other friends, because there was going to be like a group of them to go out. One of my other friends was hearing something about the movie and basically heard that like there were some things that were kind of scary for little kids and maybe wasn't marketed quite to the same audience. Well, not marketed, but not made for quite the same audience as the cartoon was. And it
Mhm.
could, you know, could bother young kids or whatever. So she's actually going to try to go see it first before taking the kids, because I mean, God
The Little
forbid,
Mermaid.
like you take the
Yeah.
kids to a movie and they have like a nightmare that night, then you just have a shitty night, right? Well, you don't want
That's a
that.
good point. That's a good point. Yeah, that's not married life for you right there. What are your thoughts though with like Little Mermaid being a black woman? Um,
Yeah, so I think we talked about this before, right? And I'm happy. When people ask these questions, right? I try to stay consistent across the episodes because I don't want to like speak against what I said. But I am not
if we
one of
blow
those
up
people.
and then someone like does like a super cut of you saying one
Yeah,
thing and
yeah,
then doing something else, saying
going back
the
and
exact
forth, back
opposite.
and forth. But I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, you know, make that character black now. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like I'm just not one of those people. I don't
Ah,
need that.
that's true.
And I think that, you know, when it came out, like it's like, was a part of me happy that she was black? Sure, yeah. I mean, you know, it's important. But then it's also just like Hollywood just saying, oh, in the remake, why don't we make the mermaid black? Because that'll change everything, and let's
Yeah,
check off the representation box. Like that's pretty much all they're doing.
yeah. No,
You know what
you're
I mean?
absolutely right. And I think so. Pride Month starts next week, and I want to talk a little bit more about that. Um, with what Hollywood's doing and how people are responding to it as
Hmm.
well. I need to actually do some. Hopefully, I'll find some freaking time and do a little bit of due diligence, and so I can present something meaningful next week. Uh, but yeah, it's it's unfortunate with how much like vitriol that movie has gotten per se. Um, but yeah, people just need to chill. It's just a fucking movie. You said this multiple times that we need to focus more on black IP characters instead
Yes.
of transferring characters from that were white to black. Um,
Yeah.
I
And the
do remember
same
hearing,
thing for gay characters too. Like,
yeah,
why we gotta suddenly turn you know, oh, they're gay now. No.
yeah, yeah. Focus like LGBT plus characters, right? Like focus on like that growth right there, right?
Yeah.
I kind of felt it a little bit with uh Young Justice. I don't know if you've watched this. So Young Justice, uh, one of the characters there came out as non-binary, um, and her logic makes sense, right? Because she is from an alien world and doesn't necessarily, even though her power is from the mother box per se, she is from an alien world that that doesn't necessarily like adhere to genders, and that makes sense. But the way they
Yeah.
presented it too was more along the lines of, "Oh, I think I'm just gonna go by they now. I'm gonna decide my pronouns. I'm gonna be they." And I'm like, "Okay." I feel like that warrants more discussion,
Yeah,
right?
it was like they were. I mean, again, I felt like they were just checking the box. It was
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
forced
like
for me.
yeah.
Like it
I
was just
mean,
like,
I wouldn't mind actually going through. It's a story. It's a movie. Tell the story. I don't. I wouldn't actually mind actually understanding the logic and reasoning behind it, right? And I'm sure that will help with more representation too of being seen for some people, not just say, "Oh, look, I'm this now," right? But see him go through that struggle, come to that realization, right? Oh, this is what best represents me. Um, so yeah, absolutely. Do you guys listen to Blade? I have no idea who that is.
Hey, no, it's a new listener, man. Unfortunately I don't. So let us know like in the comments, man. What is Blade? Put us on. Give me the link.
Yeah, definitely put us on. Put us on. Definitely wouldn't mind hearing more about that. So yeah, good looking out. Got ourselves um,
Another viewer, man.
another viewer. Much appreciated. Yeah, we haven't watched Blade, so please put us on. Let us know
So hold
about
on.
that.
So do you have the? I really want to dig into this video with with Ryan
Yes,
Davis.
yes, yes, yes. So we had a video for Ryan. Oh, you know what? I forgot to effing play the Boston Celtics video, but whatever. That time's passed. There's a joke about. I might play it and then like the last part of it. But we were going to play Ryan Davis' video. The unfortunate thing is that the aspect ratio would like mess up with the whole with what we're doing with this kind of mobile streaming thing that we're trying to do here. So it's tough. I do want to say before we start getting into Ryan Davis a little bit, and he oh, so our buddy responded. I'll get back to his comment later. So before I get into Ryan Davis's video, let's talk a little bit more about Little Mermaid. Um, regardless of who like Little Mermaid is live action, I was gonna say Barry, Halle Bailey or not. I honestly think Little Mermaid is probably of all the Disney princesses might be the worst one
Yeah,
ever, ever. Right? If
I'm
you think
thinking.
about it, either that or Pocahontas, and I'm talking about the way Pocahontas is represented.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about Pocahontas. It's just gonna piss me off.
Yeah, I hope they never do a don't ever do a live action of that one. 'Cause-
I don't. You know what? I don't think they. I don't think they. I don't think they have the balls to do that.
oh no,
After all the historical stuff that that
that'll
we
be the
talked
dumbest
about,
thing they ever do.
to
They
remake
are doing a
that,
live action. They are doing a live action of Princess and the Frog though, so that they are doing, and they're doing a live action of Moana as well.
is she gonna be
So
white?
I'm sure the conservative right wing people will be like, "Oh, let's make her white." Like
Oh man, y'all
there's
have
not enough
everything
white
else. Calm down.
representation. Okay. But yeah, let's talk a little bit more about yeah, so I think she's the worst one just because of just the whole story behind her, right? Where um she has to leave her home, right, to be a part of a different group of people, right? I want to be part of this world, right? And Ryan Davis is a comedian who does a very, 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 very good job on like kind of doing the parallel imagery because he actually watched the movie and it was like, no, I think this woman should have been white because what he did is he compared this Little Mermaid, to essentially conservative black women. Really, if you think
Yeah,
about it, right? Stacey Dash was one of the people that he compared to, um,
I think that
and
was Candace Owens he put up there, right?
Candace Owens too. Yeah, absolutely. I was blanking on her name, so yeah, absolutely. But yeah, man. But yeah, go ahead. What are your thoughts? And then we'll kind of
No,
get back to
I just wanted to bring that up because I feel like he did an incredible the way he talked about the whole talked about the movie and was just going on like, yeah, I don't think that she should have been played by a black person. That just doesn't make sense. We've never seen this in our culture where someone, you know, wants to be a part of another culture and wants to leave their own behind. We've never seen that. Nobody's ever done that before, right? And then
Mhm.
as he's talking through it, he's putting all these pictures up of Candace Owens and
Stacey
Stacey
Dash.
Dash. And I'm like looking at it because first I'm thinking, I wasn't even thinking about what he was doing. I'm thinking about the fact that he's just like, yeah, I don't think she should have been black. I'm like, man, are you serious? Why not? Right. And then
Yeah,
I'm watching the video. I'm glad I wasn't just like listening
yeah,
because if I was just listening, I wouldn't have gotten it. And then I started
yeah,
seeing those images. And it's like, when you think about it, as much as we want to have representation, as important it is to have us out there or whatever, the message of the movie, I wouldn't want a black girl playing that part either,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like I said
Because
before, worst Disney princess. And it made it even worse the fact that she's black.
that's crazy. And of course, like
Yeah.
they didn't. You notice they did not change the prince, right?
Nope.
Wonder why. You know what I mean?
Worst
So
Disney princess.
it was a very interesting point that he brought up. You
Yeah,
know, with
Ryan
all
Davis
that,
is
man.
awesome, man. He's a very. I think a lot of comedians are smart, are much smarter than they let on, and I think he's just one of
Oh
them.
yeah.
Um,
I think you have to be that way to be a comedian. It's a certain
yeah,
level of like you have to be observant about
you have
things
to be
and
observant, you
to
have to
be
be
aware of
intelligent.
certain things that is going on
Yeah,
and be able to connect that to
yeah,
some of your material. You know what I mean?
yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. So no, you're 100% right though. So yeah, probably one of the worst like Disney princesses ever. How many times have I said that? Like 8 billion times. I think it's the worst Disney princess
You
ever.
really have something against her.
It freaking sucks out of all of them, right? Like,
I
and
think I'm trying to think. Like I think for me, just growing up and like watching those movies, I think it was between that and Beauty and the Beast. Like, I was just like, yo, this is some bull. Like, I just like I'm good.
no, Beauty and the Beast is also a live action movie that they made. That
Yeah.
too, and Snow White, kind of as a Maleficent.
I don't know what that was with Snow White, bro. I don't know what that was.
I
I
actually
went to
watched
go see it.
Maleficent.
My dumb ass went to go see it. I was like, oh, it might be, nah. And then they turned around and tried to do was it with it wasn't like quite Sleeping Beauty, it was like Maleficent.
Yeah, yeah. It was more about Maleficent.
And they made
Uh,
two of those.
yeah, they made a second one
Why?
because money,
Garbage.
money.
Speaking of garbage, this is random. There's a freaking Barbie movie coming out.
Yep,
Barbie movie coming out.
yep, yep.
I thought the wife like pointed it out. I was like, "There's no way. There's no way. You would have to pay me to go see that. If you want to see that, if you would have to pay me. There's no way I'm going to see that movie. I'll have to
Margot
be compensated."
Robbie and Ryan Gosling are heads uh, in that one. And I think Sima Liu, who played Shang-Chi, um, he's in it as well. Oh, also Issa Rae's in it too, as well.
Yeah,
Issa Rae's in it.
I
So
hope for her sake it doesn't destroy her career.
it's not going to. I don't think so. I think
I
she's
think
she's
she's too
established a
popular,
career.
but still, this
I
is
think she's
like,
established a career well enough now for like one of these things not to like destroy her career. I think they're all those people in that movie has been established. So I think she'll be fine.
yeah. I mean, I'd
Um,
be an extra, but I won't be spending my money on it.
one thing that someone pointed out, um, and I'm gonna play like a video before we switch on to our next topic, which is state of play. But in the essence of black characters taking on the traditionally white roles, someone pointed out is that they're only doing it to all the redheads. and
Yeah, that was crazy. They pointed out all
then
the
someone
people.
pointed out like, huh.
It was like her. You got Starfire from DC Comics.
Starfire,
Who
yes.
else did you have? There was like some other guys too.
Batwoman,
Yep, Batwoman. Yep, yep.
yeah. She had traditionally red hair in the. Well, I mean, it's fake, but like someone who's black, obviously Ariel. Someone
Was it
who's black.
April O'Neil too? No,
Oh no 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 no! Fuck.
I think April O'Neil
Uh,
started off as a woman of
Flash,
color though.
Flash's wife, or um,
Iris West.
Iris West, also redhead, will be played by a
Was
black woman.
she? I thought she was a
Yes.
blonde.
No.
It's
Well,
crazy.
yeah, she was redhead, blonde. Yes, but yeah, they go around. So yeah, but she was more traditionally a redhead in recent like cartoon showings of her. I know she was a redhead in Young Justice. I think, don't
Okay,
she?
okay.
Yeah, he's definitely redhead in Young Justice. But yeah, so I think that's effing hilarious. That's a good point. So last thing before we do, and we will play this, and then it's actually a joke about like Little Mermaid. So yeah, let's watch.
Wish I could be part of that world. Oh my god. Hello, officer. There's a very suspicious looking black mermaid who just crawled out of the ocean looking very thuggish, if you know what I'm saying. Ma'am, I need you to come out of the ocean and put your fins in the air. Ma'am, I need you to comply. I feel unsafe, ma'am. I'm feeling unsafe right now. Oh, so you come out of the water looking for a high-value man. But are you a high-value woman? Because all I'm seeing is the bottom half of a fish and the top half of a broke-ass beep. Nope.
Yo. Wow.
Oh my god, that's actually funny. That was a reference that was referenced earlier, the male podcast.
Mm, 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 mm.
That's hilarious. Um,
There's two shows with the male podcasters. It's well you know Andrew Tate, you know Kevin, what's his name?
Kevin Samuels.
Kevin Samuels, R.I.P. But then there's another dude. He has like it's like him and like two other guys, and then like they have this like roundtable discussion with these different women.
Oh god, I know that one.
You know what I'm
They
talking
get like
about?
the. I know exactly what you're talking about. They get like pretty much the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, I mean they have these women that are like, yeah, I shouldn't have to do anything, and he should make like $5 million or something stupid like that, and then they go off
Yeah,
on these women. It's like I mean, there's a reason why these women are single, right? If that's what they're, you know.
there's a reason why those women are there too. There's a reason why those women are there doing a male podcast because that's what the fuck they're doing, right? Like it's all about fucking clout at this point, right? Um,
Oh man,
yeah, no, but there's some good male podcasters too. So
of course,
that's
we're two
fine.
of
So
them.
yeah,
Y'all looking at two of
yeah,
them
we
right
got
here.
two right here,
Two of the
two
best.
male. Yeah, we got some good ones. So yeah,
I'm
I,
oh, so hold on, real time out real quick because my guy, well, I won't say my guy because I don't know, but good old Lukey told us who Blade was. So guy from Sweden who raps about mental struggles. So might have to see what's going on with that, man. Look it up.
as a Ti makes some dope arse music. So I'm assuming this guy's from Sweden, so that's good.
Yeah, he said targeted individuals. So you might have to peep that on like YouTube Music or whatever. See what he's talking about.
Yeah, cool. All right, yeah, I'm gonna check them out. All right, so knocked out two of them. We got that done. We got this done. Let's hit the state of play. This is on you, buddy. So, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. So like not too long ago, you remember how we used to have like the E3 Expo and all that stuff, and then the pandemic kind of ruined everything,
Yep.
and all the console manufacturers decided that they were just going to do their own shows, like
Yeah.
right before they kind of like really went defunct. So the PlayStation's one is called the PlayStation Showcase. They had another one recently where they were talking about like all the latest PlayStation products that are coming out. A couple things caught my eye.
Mm-hmm.
One, the new Spider-Man game. I think that's going to be off the chain. They showed some
Venom.
footage.
Yeah.
You got Peter Parker in the black suit, the Venom suit. You
Mm-hmm.
got Miles Morales. You got Kraven the Hunter, the Lizard.
Yeah.
So I was watching like some gameplay videos of that, man. And if y'all haven't played the Spider-Man game for PlayStation 4, get on it because those games are. I mean, they're classics in my eyes, man. Those are the
They're
best Spider-Man
really
games
good.
ever made, straight up.
They're really, really good. They do a good job. I feel like they cop a little bit from Batman Arkham Knight.
A little
Um,
bit, a little bit.
yeah, with a lot of, or well, the back on Batman Arkham series, I should say. Um, with not just how you fight for sure. With the fighting, that's straight from Batman. Uh, the transing, like the way you jump from or move through the city, like that's
Hmm.
fun. It takes some time to get used to, um, but it was
I
really really fun.
disagree. I was on that immediately. I was like, yo, this
Really,
makes total
motherfucker,
sense to me.
maybe not the gamer
Yes.
that you are then. So, yeah, it took me a little bit to kind of get used to that, but once you get used to it, like it's fun. Definitely. I haven't watched a whole lot of the state of play. I've been just again, like I said, been really busy with just life. Um, but
Yeah.
the two things I did catch, um, Metal Gear Solid Delta, which is a remake of Snake Eater, which I think is by far the best freaking game.
Metal Gear
Um,
Solid 3, you talking about.
yeah, so it's
Metal
called
Gear Solid 3 remake. Yeah.
yeah, it's called Metal Gear Solid Delta, right? Which is the
Okay.
Metal Gear Solid 3 remake, right? Or I think it's Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Um, and
Yeah.
that's the game where it's very similar to almost. They have a lot of James Bond kind of themes there with kind of their intros and all that stuff. Um, but yeah, this is a great game. The thing about that game, though, what I remember playing is that you're going to be on your stomach. You're on your stomach a lot because you have to blend into the environment and sneak past, um, like people and stuff and whatnot. So I'm curious to see how they're going to redo that. They got rid of the creator of the game of the game. So forgot his name, Kanoji um, or whatnot. I have to like get his name. His name right. Um, but yeah, the guy Hideo Kanomi Hideo Kojima.
Oh,
Is his
yeah,
name.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So they got rid of him at the end of Metal Gear Solid 5, or I think prior to it. I don't know if you played Metal Gear Solid 5. Great gameplay, but the storyline was kind of because it was an incomplete story. The story's not
Well, all
complete.
the stories for all the plots from the Metal Gear Solid games were like impossible to understand,
Yeah, they were
right?
tough to understand. I think Metal Gear Solid 3 is probably the best one in
I
terms of a
agree.
story,
I think
right?
that was the best Metal Gear Solid game for me, for my money,
Yeah,
for
in
sure.
terms of a story, yeah, absolutely. Um, but yeah, he's not. Yeah, he tends to make these super complex, probably even convoluted type stories. Like I saw, like this is the guy who also. So after he left, what is it? Konami, right? He created like did an independent studio and created Death Stranding, and I was like,
Hmm.
I saw the gameplay and I was like, nah, I can't do another overcomplicated. Like I love complicated shit, but there's a limit. There's complicated and just convoluted, right? And I think his stuff kind of crosses that line a little bit of sometimes.
That's the one
Um,
where you were like a delivery man, right? Are you
yeah,
you're
essentially. And I'm like, well, why do I want to do that? This looks boring as fuck, right?
yeah.
Um,
I think that
and
was one of the knocks on it.
yeah, and like I watched the game, and I was like, or I was watching like the trailer. I'm like, I don't know what this game's about at all, like at all, right? And the graphics is not good enough to make me interested in the game, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just something that we just have to kind of just be mindful about. Um, but yeah,
The other
yeah.
thing I
So
saw in there was the was this, I think it's called Project Q. It's like a
oh yeah,
new
the handheld.
handheld that they're coming out with. But then they gave details about it, and it's just like something that you can do like remote play from your PlayStation with. So it's like not, it's not, it's not a portable system
Yeah,
at
that's
all.
the thing.
You still have to be like on this. I think you have to be like on the same internet and all that type of
Oh,
stuff.
really? I didn't even know about that. You have to be on the same internet. That defeats the whole thing. Then, what's the point?
That's what
Why would
people are
I?
saying. It's like, I mean, I don't get it. Like if you really, and
That's not really
I
remote.
understand why, but no, but I understand why PlayStation might be hesitant to come out with a new handheld because remember after the PSP, you had the Vita, right? And that was like this super high end handheld game system that failed like
Mm,
horribly. So I
yeah,
understand why they'd be hesitant to come out with another one. But, this, whatever this is, I mean, I don't.
Yeah, I
You
don't
can
think it's worth.
already do remote play on other devices. So why would I buy
Yeah,
this? Right?
yeah. Um, the only thing I see this happening for is when I go home to Louisiana to visit family. I don't have my PlayStation stuff with me. It's not like I bring it. That would be the only time I would use it. So my nephew can probably play some games too.
Yeah.
Um, but but yeah, it's silly. Like if I can't effing truly play remotely, like if I'm on a plane or um, like while I'm traveling, and it only work if I'm traveling to a place where I don't want to go, like for like
yeah.
a work travel or if I'm stuck like again at home in Louisiana, like I have some downtime. Not that I don't want to go home to Louisiana, but like if I have some downtime, then that will be when I'd play it. If I can't do it, then there's no point. So yeah, another thing that came out too. So there was Delta. Um, I saw Final Fantasy 16. I don't know if you saw that one.
No, you're
There's some
excited about that. You finished that joint in
not
like
really,
2 weeks.
not not really. I'm not excited about it
No?
at all. To be honest with you, no. I'm excited for the Final Fantasy 7 Part 2 remake. Um, I'm not. I will probably play this one because I'm a fanboy for Final Fantasy. Um, but it's given me a lot of um, Final Fantasy 15, Final Fantasy 13 vibes, and that's not a good thing because I didn't like either of those games. To be
I
honest
enjoyed
with you.
15, actually.
Yeah, that was your first one, right? We've had this conversation. That was your first
That
one,
is
and I
true.
say,
That is true.
I tell people this all the time. Usually, not always, but usually the first one is just our best one. It's usually the favorite one. A good friend of mine, he likes Final Fantasy 9, and Final Fantasy 9 was a pretty good game. But that was, I think, one of his first games, right? My first game was Final Fantasy 7, right? Definitely all time favorite game right there.
I mean, that's a
Um,
classic. I even say that that's a classic.
that's a classic game. If you haven't played, you should definitely play Final Fantasy 7 Remake if you get a chance to. Um,
Okay.
it's definitely a different style of game, though. It's not a hack and slash game. If you approach it as a hack and slash type, you'll get your ass beat immediately. In a heartbeat, you'll get your ass beat. It is not a hack and slash game. It's still kind of turn based, though not really. So you have to really understand like how those mechanics work.
Gotcha.
Um, but yeah, I think with this Final Fantasy 16, so the knocks for Final Fantasy 15 and 13 is that you don't really control your other characters, right? You only really control in Final Fantasy 15. You only really control one character, and everyone else is kind of just running around, just out there running. And that's definitely the case in Final Fantasy 13. I don't think you can control any character. You just kind of just press just random buttons and hope they do shit. Super annoying. So,
I don't know. I thought there's a changed character mechanic in Final Fantasy 15. I thought.
not really. Well, they may have changed it afterwards, right? It definitely didn't happen before, but they may have changed it afterwards. So
Mm,
yeah, there's that aspect to it as well. So yeah, there's I'm not super excited about it. It comes out actually next month. So I guess sometime tomorrow. So I will probably try and pick it up. And hopefully it turns out to be a good game. So the reason why I mentioned that you can only control one character is that in this game you only control one character. Right? It's a one person game. You may have people on the side with you, some AIs that come in with you, but it
right.
is one person. And there's like a dog too that you can like control that kind of is helpful. So I think that's possible. But the game also takes place at three different timelines. So when he was a kid, then when he's like middle age, and I guess when he's older as well, right? But again, it kind of gives me some of those Final Fantasy 15 vibes. That's something that's supposed to be very dark and morbid type of storyline. Um, well, I said let me say dark storyline, and I think problem with people when they try to go dark is they tend to go morbid, um, like Zack Snyder. I know you like
Oh my
that
God!
guy.
Here we go. Here we go.
Had to throw that in there. So yeah, absolutely. But yeah,
So here's a question for you though, right? Because you know how, like a lot of games these days are like open world games, right? Like we were talking about Metal Gear Solid 3 and 5. 3 was like it was a little more straightforward. I mean, you could kind of plan
It's
how you
very
wanted to
linear.
do things,
It's
but
linear.
PlayStation 5. Metal Gear Solid 5 is just like this whole like open world thing where you have to manage your bases and run back and forth. Or you have like the Zelda games. I think yeah, it was like Zelda Breath of the Wild,
That's the wild.
and I think the new one is like Tears of the Kingdom or something like that.
Yeah,
These huge open world games, or even Horizon Forbidden West, right? I'm
love that game.
kind of getting tired of everything, them making everything open world. I'm kind of getting tired of it. It's like
Okay.
I don't mind a good linear game. Like I love the Uncharted series. Those are like playing movies. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Um, God of War isn't. They're trying to make it open world a little bit more now, but like the other ones, where they were kind of linear, you just have like really tough puzzles to get through.
Yeah.
I kind of miss that. Like I don't. Sometimes I don't want. I don't want to grind for a bunch of crap. I don't want to do 1,000 side quests. I'm kind of getting tired of the open world. Everything having to be like an open world thing. What do you think about that?
That's a good question. That's a good one. So I don't play a lot of different games. I usually play like one game multiple times, right? Until I finally get tired of it and move on to another one. So Horizon, I think I'm on my third playthrough, and not mind you, I say third playthrough. There are times where I just play the game just to kind of let off some steam. I go kill like a machine or something just to see how many different ways I can like kill off a machine. I think with the open world stuff. So let's look at Metal Gear Solid 5. So that's an open world game, and this is kind of to your point. Like I'm less tired. I wouldn't say I'm not tired. I'm tired of open world games as long as they're good, right? Like so, for example, like comic book movies. People can say that they're getting tired of them, but if they're shit, then of course you're gonna get tired of it, right?
True.
Um, like so for example like the Marvel movies, right? They haven't been up to snuff as of lately, right? Guardians of the Galaxy, which I finally saw by the way, was actually a pretty decent movie.
Hmm.
But prior to that, and like Ant-Man was okay, was mid at best, I think. Black Panther was really Wakanda Forever was really good. Spider-Man No Way Home was really good. Everything else in phase 4, mid, right? Even Doctor Strange, which like I loved the first movie. The second one was like Um, even whatchamacallit, Thor Ragnarok, which a lot of people kind of bashed. I didn't bash it as much, but I wouldn't argue with someone if they said it was a bad movie. Like I s-
You mean
like
Love and you mean Thor: Love and Thunder, right?
yeah, yeah, Thor Love and Thunder Ragnarok, yeah.
Yeah, that was
So yeah,
trash.
yeah,
Trash.
I thought it was okay. Uh, but I think for this kind of stuff, like I hear your point too. Like, there's nothing wrong with a good linear game. Final Fantasy VII Remake is a linear game, uh, and even though they had like open world stuff, which I think they're gonna in part two they'll have some open world stuff. For the most part, it's linear and it works, right? There's some games where that's linear, or I would say it's linear, but they try to make open world and it just didn't work too well. Dynasty Warriors is one of them.
Yeah.
Uh, God, that movie! Like, I was a huge Dynasty Warriors fan too, and I heard nine was just trash, and I was like, and I saw some gameplay, and I was like, just because it's open world doesn't make it good, right? Or let's talk Metal Gear Solid 5 for a second. Again, beautiful game, great gameplay.
Oh, yeah.
Um, One of the things they tried to do, which I didn't like, because I don't like playing online a lot, is they tried to make it like about the online play and your forward operating bases and you setting up your forward operating base and letting like defending it against other players coming in. So I never played that part of the game.
Right.
But there are all these little side missions that you play in Metal Gear Solid 5 that I remember that you go to this part, they say, oh, you're supposed to kidnap this high level target or whatever, right? And it's a different mission, but it's like the same like thing. It's the same guy walking in the same place in the same like general surrounding, right? And like once you find like an optimal solution on like how to take it out, then why would I change it up a little bit?
Yeah,
Like
like
what more can I do? right? Horizon is a little bit different in the sense that um, you can play the game and then you can play it again, but this time do some of the missions in a different order, some of the side quests and whatnot, and you get different dialogue. Um, some smaller dialogue, you get to catch a little bit of some mistakes too, like oh you didn't this and this right.
Hmm.
Um, so there's that aspect to like the open world game. Like if you do open world games like that, where it makes me want to replay just to see like different dialogue, that makes sense. But if it's like a trash open world game, then to your point, like just make it fucking
Yeah,
linear.
just
Just make it
just
linear.
just do it, man. Like sometimes the game is just like so huge. It's like I'll
Yeah,
never get through this thing. Like I want to play Red Dead Redemption, but it's
yeah.
like you. I mean, you can or what was the other one? I think the other one was like Skyrim. You could spend like all your
Oh,
time in Skyrim, like going to the mage schools or something like that, just like never doing any of the
yeah.
story. You could just spend all your
Grinding.
time doing it. Yeah. So it just gets to the point where like these all these AAA games are coming out, and it's like I'm excited about it, but then it's like instead of just like playing through the story or playing through the stuff that I actually like care about, it's going to be, hey, go round up these sheep like 28,000 times so you can get $10 and buy
Yeah.
this new thing. I mean, sometimes I'm just in the mood for like I want to turn it on, I want to play through some missions, and
Mhm.
then get to the next part of the story and keep moving.
Yeah.
You know,
No, absolutely. I think
I'm
Horizon.
afraid that God of War is going to go in that direction too. Because you saw what they did with
Yeah.
the first one. I haven't played Ragnarok yet, but now you have the guy. You can go in there and do errands for him to get your stuff, and it's like, please don't ruin this game for me.
I need to play that game, Ragnarok. It's a good. I heard so many good things about it. I need to play both of them actually.
Yeah, you
Both
should.
the
You should.
new games. I tried getting into Red Dead Redemption 2, and it's long. I think the first part was a little bit too boring for me.
Yeah.
I think I got to the part where like I was on some snowy hill and I was like following some dude somewhere. Um, and I was like, I think I'm done. I think it's a wrap.
Yeah, I just never buy that. I don't have time to put into that anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, as we get older, as we have careers, you having kids, like you can't dedicate as much time as you want to in games. So I think to your point, yeah, kind of the simpler games make sense. Um, I can imagine you played Dawn Zero Dawn, obviously, right? I can
Yeah,
imagine this one's because Horizon Forbidden West is huge.
I know.
Um, it's a big ass game. There's a lot. There's a lot of content, a lot of dialogue, a lot of nuance. Um, and there's a DLC. The DLC is short though. The DLC you can knock that out if you're dedicated. If you maxed out your character, um, like and you have like all like the special shit, the special like weapons, like I did.
Hmm.
That will take you about 5 hours tops. Like the DLC is more of a it's a bit of a continuation game, but it's more of a this is what we're gonna do. This is what you can see in the next game, essentially, right?
Okay.
Um, which is what they did with Horizon Zero Dawn. I don't know if you ever played Frozen Wilds.
Yeah, I
Um,
did.
okay, so Frozen Wilds, they did they added I think they added some freeze weapons and the overshoot shot stuff, but they also did the demonic weapons as well, or the demonic um, whatchamacallit, demonic machines that Hephaestus builds. But yeah,
Oh,
okay,
okay, okay.
yeah. So that's kind of was that. But you know, I hear your point. I hear your point. It's valid. Like I guess the point is as long as it's not too bloated. Like, what's the
Yeah,
fine line between a big game where if you wanted to explore all you can out of it, you could, but if you want to just do what you want to do and then just move on to the next game, you can do that as well. But what's the difference between like a good solid open world game and then something that's just overly bloated? I think it's kind of what I'm
yes,
hearing.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and yeah, I do think Horizon kind of gets really close to that line of bloat. A
Oh yeah,
lot. too. Yeah, still it's probably one of my favorite games though. So yeah, absolutely. All right, we're at the hour mark.
All right.
Cool. Got anything else for us?
Nope. I'm spent.
All right, cool. So thank you guys for watching so much. If you're watching us still on Instagram, I can't the program that we use, it doesn't like let us see Instagram comments. So we can only see it if you um, are watching on Facebook or YouTube or whatnot. So feel free to do that there. In the future, I'll try to um, like have like Instagram somewhere where I can kind of react to comments. But at the same time, it's gonna be tough because like I don't want to be on my phone and then the whole time either, right? So I have to figure something out there with that as well. But outside of that, like, comment, subscribe. We're on Anchor. We do this, try to do this about once a week. I think we've been pretty decent last couple weeks
Oh yeah.
uh, of doing that. So cool. Nicholas finally figured out how to use links on Instagram, so that's great. Um, I finally figured out how to sync Instagram with our restream, so that's also great. So yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. And peace out.